Once again, things heating up already for this main event in WBA lightweight champ.
Yet again, things warming up as of now for this headliner in WBA lightweight title of the world. Fine, simply sit down. We'll get an opportunity to hear from both of these contenders, quickly utilizing the mouthpieces. Ought to be intriguing, the most recent public interview between advertisement Tank Davis and Plain Martin took a monstrous turn when Tank smacked his rival to be the whole question and answer session was wild, with the two warriors taking verbal pokes at each other, come during the 15. I hate actually with you realize a ton of talks. He's attempting to show that he's a leader that is all you on for individuals that accompany on hooligans. Like that, yet I'm letting you know that is the way you do, is talking it's an alternate monster. Before him an alternate be in of him, no one strolling with him holding him. Connected at the hip, won't be ready to save him June the 15th, tell you. And it's a ton developed, and I'ma take it out on him, sorry it will be him. I'm letting you know, good commitment. I surmise we both got a ton of poke. Thank you kindly, Tank. Genuinely, the boxing scene is glad to have you back and see you in real life. We will be able to hear from both of these warriors. You have your opportunity to argue. American moderator and commentator Jim Lampley calls this a savvy move by Tank Lampley. As of late sat down to chat with Tank Davis. And this is the very thing he uncovered about the boxing star's outlook during the most recent face-off occurred here today. A portion of its venue, some of it, is genuine and comes from genuine inclination, presumably a greater amount of its theater. I asked Tank Davis. I said, you realize you put on truly an act, and we exceptionally emphatic attempting to get under blunt skin. And do you believe that you succeeded? He said, better believe it, I suspect as much, he said. Yet he saw it coming, I said it was some of it about you being the puncher, and believing him should persuade sufficiently furious to be sufficiently forceful to commit the sort of error that could play in support of yourself. And he said, obviously, totally, so brilliant, a smart methodology. I give him credit, toward the day's end. I got along all around well with Tank Davis. And I didn't know that would have been the situation, and yet standing by to meet with honest Martin Lampley. Additionally discussed Tank's relationship with Floyd Mayweather and how he sees the Warriors under Mayweather advancements. You know his circular segment as a battling star is since I called Battles on HBO. So this is whenever I've first seen him since I've come back at ringside for .com. And besides the fact that I never met have him, yet he comes from the Mayweather culture. And not every person in the Mayweather culture has forever been decidedly situated or covetous of being cordial with Mia, despite the fact that experts like Leonard Ellerby, like Floyd, truly I coexist with them. Yet there were some other people who didn't cherish my show, or the things that I would agree that about their contender discussing Mayweather advancements. President Leonard Ellerby appeared to be glad for Tank's tricks at the public interview. Take not how to sell a battle, that was an extremely thrilling question and answer session. Tank is right at home, he's right at home. And he's in his usual range of familiarity, he's buckling down. And he's eager to go out there and by show the fans why he's the best contender in this spit. David Benovitz, who will be battling Alexander Vazdick on the card of the Tank versus Honest Martin match, likewise shared his response to the question and answer session show. In some cases, that is certainly not the case any longer. What do you believe is bringing his character out? He's the essence of boxing. The fans need to hear from him. They've been expecting his return. Yet definitely you. I figure you've done what's needed. Meetings today. Leonard, I anticipate conversing with you forthcoming. Martin additionally shared his side of the story during the warmed question and answer session. He discussed how Tank raised their competing meeting from their beginner days and attempted to exasperate him up. He likewise shared some knowledge into Tank's technique. Going to this battle, it was regular, you understand what I mean. Both our energies was normal. It was genuine, it wasn't faked or prearranged, it was all normal, you knows. So I felt that you realized like the energy was there when you all were up there toward the finish of the question and answer session. What was happening there? He was showing you something. What was that some? __. Some fighting that he didn't show me the class, that he said he planned to show me what's the story behind that. Like I've seen pieces and parts, yet like, for what reason does it continue raising, like a being raised man? It's saving we battling June 15th. I would try and prefer not to continue discussing the fighting you know he planned. To show him the video, he ain't show it, he showed a specific part. And afterward, they got turned up, what not yet it wasn't nothing that he showed you no except for I would truly prefer not to keep like, referencing the generate we battling now, so the narrative of produce, we can go on hide, that away from plain view. And we when we battle June 15th realize its own know this is where it truly counts. And I generally found it like I realize competing's training, like for what reason is it such a lot of weight put on it you realize I mean. It's like just some of the time I mean you can have a terrible Dan, competing you can fight someone you fight constantly, you can have one awful day. And afterward you realize they could get off on you following day 2 or 3 days you go in. And outshine they ask so fighting is bring forth toward the day's end. The main thing is the point at which you battle night. That is all there is to it, is a ton of the grading that we saw at the question and answer session. Is it based due to those experiences in the rec center? Or is it like significantly more? No, I believe it's alike. He in there with something genuine just from how I am as an individual. Like he know it, he feel it so I feel that the predominance, that alpha side that is in the two of us like it's normally come out. That is exactly what it is. Nogi raised a point about the Artem battle, how you could do without it to the body. Yet how would you predict that battle? And how are you going to stay away from assuming he focuses on the body? The evening of the battle we got an extraordinary blueprint. We got a course of action for all that so I'm happy they judge me off my last execution. What do you think about that individuals raising that last execution? And actually better believe it sort of on paper looking at what you looked like. And how he looked against Ryan. I mean you got to they generally say individuals you going to continuously be decided off your last execution. Right, so they judge me off that, so it's cool you realize. I got another exhibition, June 15th. And afterward individuals have the option to pass judgment on me off that one forthright Martin appears to be sure about the tank battle. A ton of this certainty comes from his long history with tank during their novice days, where the two come in the ring during competing meetings. Plain Martin at last has the chance to show off his abilities as he takes on his competing accomplice in the greatest battle of his profession. He additionally shared his considerations on the battle and how he intends to bring down Tanka. Intellectually, I feel like the battle won, better believe it. I feel like the battle won intellectually, currently cause like I'm doing all that I really want to do breaking him down, concentrating on him. A course of action is insane So it's a ton of them folks he get in there. With his will be is dislike me, dislike me, so the blueprint that we got man is we go in there and underwrite off the approach. I think it'll resemble, and it'll be an insane night cotton mouse kind of warrior. Or do you feel eventually we begin